The Bank of England, Unraveling the Riddles of Early Currency. The late 17th century was a period of significant political turmoil in England. The English Civil War, 1642 to 1651, had left a lasting impact, leading to the establishment of the Commonwealth under Oliver Cromwell and the subsequent restoration of the monarchy in 1660. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 marked another pivotal moment as William of Orange took the throne, which established parliamentary supremacy and limited the powers of the monarchy. This political environment fostered an increasing need for financial stability and a reliable banking system, culminating in the founding of the Bank of England in 1694. Economically, England was experiencing a transitional phase. The late 17th century saw the rise of mercantilism, where the government sought to accumulate wealth through trade and commerce. However, this was also a time of economic instability characterized by fluctuations in currency value, particularly with the use of coins. The scarcity of precious metals and the rampant clipping of coins, shaving edges to create counterfeit money, led to a devaluation of currency, causing confusion and distrust among the populace. In 1690, England faced a severe financial crisis due to costly wars, particularly the 9 Years' War against France, 1688 to 1697. The government struggled to finance military expenditures, leading to an increased need for loans and a stable currency to support economic activity. Socially, England was stratified into distinct classes. The nobility and wealthy merchants thrived, while the common people faced daily challenges such as high taxation and the effects of inflation on wages and food prices. The agrarian economy was predominant, with most people living in rural areas and relying on agriculture for their livelihoods. The rise of cities and urban centers, however, marked the beginning of a shift toward industrialization, leading to increased opportunities for trade and commerce. The average person's daily life revolved around agriculture and local markets. While many were engaged in subsistence farming, townsfolk depended on trade for goods not produced locally. As the economy began to diversify, so did the need for a stable medium of exchange, which the Bank of England sought to provide. Culturally, this era was characterized by a burgeoning interest in scientific inquiry, reason, and innovation, often referred to as the Enlightenment period. The period saw advancements in various fields, including mathematics, navigation, and engineering. The introduction of new financial instruments, such as bills of exchange and promissory notes, began to change the way people conducted business, leading to the eventual rise of banking systems. Technologically, the late 17th century was a time of innovation in printing and communication, which allowed for the dissemination of financial information and news, contributing to the growing sophistication of financial markets. The establishment of newspapers and pamphlets enabled the public to become more aware of financial matters, thus fueling interest in the emerging banking system. The overall mood of the period was one of uncertainty and experimentation. While there were opportunities for wealth creation and advancement through trade, the specter of war, economic instability, and the challenges of nascent banking systems created an atmosphere of caution among the populace. The establishment of the Bank of England was seen as a potential solution to these financial riddles, representing hope for a more stable economic future amid the chaos. In conclusion, the establishment of the Bank of England and the confusion surrounding early currency were influenced by a complex interplay of political, economic, and social factors. The era was marked by both turmoil and innovation, setting the stage for the banking practices that would shape the modern financial landscape. The establishment of the Bank of England in 1694 marked a pivotal moment in financial history, aiming to address the confusion surrounding currency and to stabilize the economy during a tumultuous period. This narrative delves into the specific events and processes that defined this financial situation, detailing how it unfolded and the mechanisms that shaped it. The Bank of England was founded amidst the backdrop of financial crisis brought on by the costly 9 Years' War, 1688 to 1697. Against France. The government faced mounting debt and was in dire need of funding to maintain military efforts. In response, a group of merchants and financiers proposed the creation of a national bank that would lend money to the government, thus establishing a more stable currency and providing a reliable means of financing public expenditures. In 1694, the Bank of England was chartered with the authority to issue banknotes, which were initially redeemable in gold and silver. This marked a significant departure from the existing currency system, which relied heavily on coinage. The charter allowed the bank to issue notes to fund government borrowing, thus creating a more flexible monetary system. The first operation involved raising capital from private investors who subscribed to the bank's stock. The initial capital of 1.2 million euros was raised through the sale of shares, allowing the bank to issue its first banknotes. These notes promised to pay the bearer a specific amount of gold or silver upon demand. A critical challenge for the bank was to gain public confidence in its banknotes as a legitimate currency. The early years were marked by skepticism. Many people were accustomed to using coins and were wary of accepting paper notes. The bank worked to build trust by ensuring that its notes were backed by tangible assets and by promoting the idea that these notes could be exchanged for precious metals. As the bank began to issue notes, it also took on the role of a regulator in the monetary system. It sought to stabilize currency value and prevent the rampant clipping and counterfeiting of coins that had plagued the economy. This effort involved collaborating with the government to standardize coinage and ensure that the public understood the new monetary system. As the bank established itself, it became increasingly dependent on government borrowing. The government relied on the bank for loans to fund military campaigns and manage public debt, effectively tying the two institutions together. This relationship created a feedback loop where the bank's success was linked to the government's financial health. Initially, public reaction was mixed. While some merchants and wealthy individuals embraced the new banking system for its potential to facilitate trade and commerce, many common people remained skeptical. Some viewed banknotes as mere pieces of paper without intrinsic value, while others feared that the bank's operations could lead to inflation. The motivations behind establishing the Bank of England were multifaceted. The need to finance military operations during the 9 Years' War created an urgent demand for a reliable source of credit. The government's financial instability prompted the search for a solution that could provide quick access to funds. The chaotic currency situation, with rampant counterfeiting and inflation, necessitated a more organized approach to currency management. The bank's creation aimed to establish a controlled and regulated currency system, thus addressing public concerns over monetary stability. The founding financiers were motivated by profit opportunities. By investing in the bank, they aimed to gain lucrative returns from the interest on government loans and the stability provided by the bank's operations. The establishment of the bank received backing from influential politicians who recognized the potential benefits of a stable financial institution. Their supports helped facilitate the bank's creation and provided it with the legitimacy needed to operate. The bank's primary innovation was the issuance of banknotes, which allowed for a more flexible and easily transferable medium of exchange compared to coins. The notes were backed by the bank's assets, including government bonds, which instilled confidence in their value and promoted their acceptance among merchants and the public. The bank established a framework for interest rates on loans to the government, which in turn influenced private lending practices and economic activity. To gain acceptance, the bank engaged in efforts to educate the public about the benefits of banknotes, emphasizing their convenience and reliability compared to traditional coinage. In the establishment of the Bank of England and the transformation of early currency, two influential figures emerged as pivotal in shaping this financial history: William Paterson and Charles Montagu. Their contributions and decisions played crucial roles in the foundation and operational strategies of the bank, guiding it through the complexities of early modern finance. William Paterson, 1658 to 1719, was a Scottish trader and financier known for his ambitious ideas and visionary outlook on finance. Born in Scotland, Paterson started his career in the shipping industry before moving to London, where he became involved in various trade ventures. His early experiences in trade and commerce laid the groundwork for his later financial innovations. Paterson was characterized by his entrepreneurial spirit, innovative thinking, and a strong belief in the potential of a national bank. He was known for his persuasive abilities, which helped him rally support for his ideas among influential circles. His determination and ambition drove him to pursue large-scale financial projects, often against significant skepticism from his contemporaries. Paterson was motivated by the belief that a centralized banking institution could stabilize the economy and provide reliable financing for the government. He proposed the creation of the Bank of England as a solution to the financial chaos of the time, driven by the urgent need for funding during the 9 Years' War. As one of the founding directors of the bank, Paterson played a critical role in drafting its charter and establishing its operational framework. He advocated for the issuance of banknotes as a way to facilitate trade and increase liquidity in the economy. His vision for the bank included an emphasis on government loans, which positioned the bank as a crucial financial partner for the state. Paterson's influence on the Bank of England was profound. His advocacy for a national bank and the issuance of banknotes helped shape the institution's identity and mission. His belief in the power of banking as a means of economic development laid the groundwork for modern banking practices. However, Paterson's later financial ventures, including the ill-fated Darien scheme, led to personal and professional challenges, yet his initial vision for the bank endured. Charles Montagu, 1st Earl of Halifax, 1661 to 1715, was an English politician, statesman, and financier. Born into a noble family, Montagu was educated at Oxford and gained a reputation for his intelligence and political acumen. He served as a member of Parliament and held various government positions, including Chancellor of the Exchequer. Montagu was known for his strategic thinking, diplomatic skills, and ability to navigate complex political landscapes. His charisma and social connections allowed him to forge alliances that were critical in the establishment of the Bank of England. Montagu's pragmatism and commitment to financial reform were key aspects of his character. Motivated by the desire to stabilize England's economy and address the growing national debt, Montagu recognized the necessity of a central bank to facilitate government borrowing and manage the currency. He supported Paterson's proposal for the Bank of England and played a crucial role in securing the necessary political backing for its establishment. As a key architect of the bank's charter, Montagu helped define its structure and governance. His influence extended to the development of banking practices that ensured the bank could effectively manage public debt and maintain public confidence in its notes. Montagu's tenure as Chancellor of the Exchequer allowed him to implement fiscal policies that underscored the importance of the bank in the broader economic framework. Montagu's leadership and strategic decisions significantly shaped the trajectory of the Bank of England. His ability to navigate political challenges and garner support for the bank established it as a vital institution in England's financial landscape. Montagu's efforts to create a stable currency and manage public debt directly contributed to the bank's early success and its lasting legacy in British finance. The Bank of England's establishment marked the beginning of modern central banking. It established principles that would be emulated worldwide, including the roles of monetary policy, lender of last resort, and regulation of the banking sector. Over time, central banks in other nations adopted similar models, influencing global financial systems. By providing a stable currency and facilitating government borrowing, the bank contributed to England's economic expansion in the 18th century. This stability allowed for increased investment in infrastructure and commerce, fostering the conditions for the Industrial Revolution. The availability of credit encouraged entrepreneurial ventures and innovations, significantly shaping economic landscapes. The Bank of England became a powerful institution within the British political landscape. Its influence over monetary policy and government financing created a symbiotic relationship between finance and politics. This connection led to the eventual establishment of policies aimed at maintaining economic stability, which would be crucial for the British Empire. The early operations of the bank provided important lessons in financial management, particularly the need for transparency, accountability, and effective regulation. These lessons would inform future banking practices and government policies, helping to mitigate financial crises in subsequent centuries. The establishment of the Bank of England was a transformative event that reshaped the financial landscape of England and set a precedent for modern banking systems worldwide. Its immediate effects included increased public confidence in currency, improved government debt management, and the regulation of a monetary system. Long-term consequences included the foundation of modern banking principles, economic expansion, and important lessons in financial governance. While the impacts of the bank were largely positive, they also highlighted vulnerabilities and challenges that would continue to affect financial systems for centuries. The legacy of the Bank of England endures, serving as a critical reference point in the ongoing evolution of banking and finance globally.